And I'm going to watch whatever the hell that ended up being. Packers lose. It was ugly. It was embarrassing yet again. I thought that the low point was last week, losing the way they did to that team. This might be the low point, Gabe. This might be the low point because your defense played well enough to beat the defending champs. Now, are they the same iteration of the Eagles as they were last season? No, not yet. But they've got talent all over the field. And your defense came to play, shut it down, held them to 10, and you can't put the ball in the end zone more than that Josh Jacobs Herculean effort. This might be the low point of the season.
And not even, close to getting into field goal range, right? Like, they had the one drive that resulted in a touchdown. Last week, at least, they moved the football. They just sucked in the red zone. They just sucked moving the ball all over the place tonight. Or last night. It was just bad. All around bad. This offense isn't very good. The offensive line isn't very good. The playmakers aren't very good. Josh Jacobs isn't as good as he was last year. It's bad. It's bad. And that's the thing. I don't know how they find and how they get themselves out of this funk. Because it doesn't look like there's an end in sight.
The loss stings, but how would we feel if McManus ties it up and then they squeak it out in overtime? We still wouldn't feel great.
But I'd feel better.
We'd feel better than we do.
But you're still in the driver's seat then, right? Like, at least you're in the driver's seat of, all right, the division, everything is still, and I guess everything still is in front of them with 5 divisional games still to go. Your margin for error is a lot smaller now in those games because you've lost the 2 games the last 2 weeks the way that you have. But if they find a way to steal a win, Chew, at least it's a win. Like,
yeah, and then you got another week to right the ship.
Winning's always better than losing.
Yeah, it's just I did not see the offense playing this poorly. Is it time? I just think these receivers are just so average. I really do.
You think it's the receivers, huh?
Well, Jordan's not seeing things.
Jordan played terrible.
He's not seeing things.
We have defended Jordan. We have said that we think he can be the guy because, again, you have seen flashes from him. You have seen stretches from him. You have seen that it's in there, this ability to read a defense, go through your progressions, find the open man, create a rhythm, all of these things that are very basic to the quarterbacking position. You have seen them. But then a night like last night shows up to you, and it goes, what the hell happened? I heard last week, I want to say this very quickly. I heard last week, I think it was Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike. It must have been after the Panthers game. Say that Jordan Love is the most Jekyll and Hyde quarterback in the league. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting. I think he might be right, Gabe. I think he's the guy who plays, who you've seen play really, really well. Again, not consistently. And then play really, really bad. Yesterday was bad, guys.
Is Hyde the bad one?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Is Hyde Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Hyde is the bad one.
Dr. Jekyll is the doctor.
Correct.
He's playing more like Hyde. I mean, they have to accept Tucker Kraft's not walking through the door. And now Elton Jenkins isn't walking through the door. It is what it is. So when you play every week, and I've said it all along. I mean, you got to coach your A game every week when you're depleted. You got to A players have to carry the load and play like A players every week. Okay. And that's just not happening.
Chew, you need to help me with something because it seems like it seems like teams have figured out Matt LaFleur and how to get him to do what they want, and that is basically run the football. Because the Packers aren't very good at it. Just go into your 2 high shell, go into light boxes, and he's going to run the football. Even Jordan Love's going to run the football. They're not going to check out of it, as we saw on 4th and 1 last night, late into the game. How do you get to a point where, defenses clearly want to play too high? I think every defense wants to play too high, but not every defense does. How do you get to a point where you dictate what the defense does instead of react?
Run the ball, because that way you get them out of 2 shell. That way you can run your play action game.
because they can't run the ball.
Well, here's what
they can't run the ball. They just can't. They've been chasing these light boxes, and they had Jacobs was at 3.5 yards per carry last night. They were under 4 yards again as a team. So what you're telling me is they're just screwed.
A stat I saw yesterday on Twitter was the Packers are one of 5 offenses to be under 1 yard. Under 1 yard before contact on their early down runs to halfbacks. If the offensive line is bad, then pivot. You have no other choice.
What I think it is I think defenses respect Josh Jacobs.
But they don't.
They don't. They're
No. Hold on. They don't respect the offensive line. They don't think this offensive line is very good.
Correct.
They don't think Rasheed Walker's a good run blocker. They don't think Banks is either. I mean, Banks had a key, even though there were 3 of them, Banks had a key false start, in the first half or second quarter. I'm not sure when it was, You can't, especially as a veteran player, you can expect it from young players to make knuckle-headed plays and stuff like that. But when you're a veteran like that, man, it's just, especially in a game like this where every play counts.
So in your pie chart of blame then, Chew, are you going offensive line? Is that bear the brunt of the weight? Because look, plenty of blame to roll around. Defense is going to be spared from this, by the way, because we all agree, right? I want to make sure we're all in agreement. The defense played well. Not only did they play well, but we got some stats here about Micah Parsons. You guys were talking about how some of the corners played. Like, they played well enough to win that game. If you hold the Eagles to 10 points, you should win that game.
Simply put, they're Super Bowl good. That defense can win a Super Bowl. That, plain and simple, end of story, period.
Yes.
Move on.
So,
I mean,
pie chart of blame, Chew.
Most of it's going on LaFleur and Love. Because
75% between those two?
Yeah, probably. Love, you're being paid a lot of cabbage. And you're not playing like you're getting paid a lot of cabbage. And then just LaFleur's. I'll give you an example, guys, okay? And this goes to a coaching point. This is a very simple coaching point. The 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter. A huge play in the game, right?
Yep.
Huge play in the game. To me, as I look at that, that's either read zone or these coaches don't know what the hell they're doing. Because if it's not read zone, why do you have the quarterback showing to where the ball is running? Why aren't you going out the back door with the hopes of maybe drawing a linebacker or someone just a flash to look at Love going out the back door? And if the play fake is good enough, that makes a difference. If you watch the play, he hands off, and if it's not read zone, he follows Josh Jacobs. What are you doing? When I talk about plays off of plays, right? That's one of their favorite plays. He should always be going out the back door. So you run that 2 or 3 times in the game, and then you hit it and go out the back door. I don't see a rhyme or reason as to what they do. And the way we did it is like you had running plays, and then off of those exact same running plays, you have play action pass. I mean, it sounds like a small thing, but at the end of the day, Holmgren would always say, once you let the small crap go, you're going to let bigger crap go. And I think that's where this team is at.
I think the great point that's being made there, though, is that the offense has become predictable.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we saw the clip, obviously. Everybody saw the clip that was circulating on social media.
Now it comes down to a 4th down and 1.
It's inside zone this way. Inside zone this way.
Flag flies.
Eagles knew exactly where the play was going.
Yeah.
And that's how it ended up.
This is very simple to me, what's happening. I think there is a Grand Canyon-sized gulf between who's to blame here in Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, and it's Matt LaFleur. Teams have figured out this offense. They know they can bait the Packers into less effective plays by playing too high shell. All they do is they line up in it and they say, run it at us because we're better off with you guys running the ball. And Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, for whatever reason, have decided they don't like any of their pass plays against too high. They don't have any in the playbook they like. So they're going to run it. It's going to be less effective. In the press conference, Matt LaFleur said, our run game was effective. Well, it wasn't. By every measure that we have. You can do yards per carry. You could do EPA. On 1st and 2nd down runs in this game, the Packers had -10 cumulative EPA. They were putting themselves consistently behind the mark. And what did Matt LaFleur do to respond? He kept doing it over and over and over again.
Because
if you don't trust Jordan Love, that's one thing. Guess what? You're now coaching for your job, so you need to prove it's not you and it's him.
Well, I don't think it matters. Like if it's still if he does that, and I know we can talk to Jason about this in a little bit when he joins us, because Jason asked the let it rip question last night to both LaFleur and Love, because that was a turning point back in 2023, asking, hey, do we need to get back to that? Even if it is Jordan Love and they lose games, like that's it for Matt.
Yeah, and he should be very worried.
Yeah,
the way you performed on offense, the only team you haven't struggled since they figured you out was Pittsburgh, because they said, we want to stop Josh Jacobs, because Mike Tomlin thinks it's 2001 still. And that's the only reason. Every other team is forcing them into what they know is going to beat them. They know they aren't good enough, they aren't talented enough to continue and dink and dunk and not do the right things. It's a Matt LaFleur issue. He does not know what to do with the talent he has. And when you lose Tucker Kraft and you say, maybe we should switch things up again. Nope. 6 of the first 7 plays are running plays. What is that? What are you doing?
Well, when you've got wide receivers who track the ball by just thinking they decide they need to be a defensive back and then it hits him in the back of the head.
Why does Bo Melton have 5 targets, Gabe? Why is our wide receiver who converted to corner, who's now playing wide receiver, getting 5 targets?
Did he convert to corner?
Well, he played a lot in the training camp.
He convert to corner because he hasn't played a single snap of defense, Joshy. He only plays offense.
Why are they running a game plan like this? What is it?
Look, I'm not defending Matt LaFleur, but
I know I'm yelling at you because I want answers.
The answer is the team's not the offense as talented as the defense is. The offense just isn't that talented. It's just not. The offensive line's been really good in years past. Is bad this year, and the pass catchers, as Chewy started the segment with, are average at best. Like, as much as Christian Watson can be a difference maker, the play I'm referencing where they go up top again, and he thinks it's overthrown to the point where he has to turn into a defensive back and hits him in the back of the head, you got to track that better, man. The difference between him getting $13 million and even just getting up to that $25 million level that I'm sure he wants to get to is really good wide receivers make that play. They go and make that play for their quarterback. And Christian Watson just was incapable of doing so, had decided that he needed to bail and become a defensive back. Like, seriously, if he just keeps with it, instead of hitting him in the back of the head, put up your hands and hit you in the face mask.
Well,
The offense just isn't talented enough, and Matt LaFleur doesn't have any answers. It's a really bad combination.
800-990-3776, taking your reaction all morning long to the Packers' 10-7 loss yesterday to the Philadelphia Eagles at Lambeau Field. Back-to-back losses at Lambeau Field, I think for like the first time since 2013. I got a boatload of stats in front of me. I got a boatload of nuggets in front of me that are going to also articulate just how bad this game was. Love went 0 for 6, 3 sacks, 2 scrambles, and lost a fumble when under pressure. That, again, goes to the offensive line. Green Bay falls to 1-3 when holding opponents under 17 points. That's the most such losses in the NFL. They are holding teams to under 17 points. That's 4 games. They have lost 3 of them. This offense isn't good enough. This was by far the low point of the season when you add what they did the week before, when you take all the garbage narrative, the conversation, the comments that were made in the week leading up to this game about how they were still good enough and they could get it done and that, that was a wake-up call and all of those things you hear when a team suffers a bad loss. And then they go ahead and they essentially duplicate the effort on offense. 800-990-3776. We want your reaction this morning.
Hey guys, it's Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thanks for watching our clip. I'm sure it was super informative and educational. I'm just kidding. I love those knuckleheads. And we do it live every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get informed anytime we drop new content.